Right, hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm back with another match preview. This time is Preston North End versus Swansea City in the Sky Bet Championship this Wednesday night, 7:45 PM kickoff away at Deepdale. Yeah, so another away game. Obviously we played on the weekend against Charlton. I did make the trip up. It was a 1-1 draw. A little bit of a frustrating game, to be honest with you. I think it was a game which we could have got all 3 points. Josh Key had a chance right at the end to sort of nick it, and I think, you know, normally you'd look at Charlton away and say it's a very good point, but I think recently we have dropped a few points which we should have picked up. You know, we've drawn a lot of games, but I think, you know, it's another chance now against a really good Preston side. You know, it's going to be a tricky test away from home. You know, they're a very good side this season and they're good at home as well. So, you know, a long trip on a Wednesday night is going to be, you know, a really tough test. But, you know, we are going to have to start picking up points sooner rather than later. As I said, yeah, they're a very good side. They normally, you know, finish around mid-table, but I think they've really surprised everybody this season, currently sitting in 6th at the moment, and, you know, they've turned into a very, very consistent team. As for us, we're currently in 16th at the moment, and we're on 17 points, 0 goal difference. We've played 13, you know, we've won 4, drawn 5, lost 4, so a pretty average record. I do think we are better than the points, you know, suggest. If I'm being completely honest, we should be a little bit higher up. But I think, you know, that'll come further on in the season. But as I said, I do think we need to start picking up points sooner rather than later, because, you know, how long can we wait? You know, the playoff spots are just going to get further and further away. We're currently 5 points off the playoffs, which it is Preston who occupy that 6th spot at the moment. So, yeah, obviously the playoff spots are going to, you know, get further and further away the less points we pick up. And, you know, it is making it tricky because, you know, these games such as Charlton and Preston away, you'd look at them normally and say, you know, a point's good, but it looks as if we're going to have to start getting, you know, 3 points. I think especially now that we drew at Charlton, I think, you know, we've got to go and look to get 3 points against Preston, even though it's going to be a really tough place to go. We've got to look and get 3 points. But, yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but I'll run you through the injury news for both teams. So starting off for Preston North End, the first injury they've got Andrea Vukovic with a muscle injury. They've got McCann out with a muscle injury, Lewis Gibson with a muscle injury. They've got Valentine also with a muscle injury. They've got Thompson with a leg injury, Brad Potts with a muscle injury, Will Keane with a calf injury, and Robbie Brady with a calf injury. So, yeah, they've got an absolutely they're absolutely stacked for injury news. So, you know, to still be where they are despite all those injuries, I think is absolutely excellent. As for the Swans, then I think we've got a fully fit squad to choose from. Obviously, Malik Yalkoué will be back from his suspension now. There's still uncertainty around Marko Stamenic. Obviously, he is off on bereavement and he's missed the last 2 games. So, you know, obviously he might be out for quite a while, which is, you know, completely understandable. But in terms of injury news and suspensions, we've got a fully fit squad to choose from. And then going on to the key players then for both teams. So starting off with Preston, the first player I'm going to go with is Osmajic. I think he's a very good player at this level, and, you know, he scores a lot of goals as we've seen last season. He scored a lot, so I'll go with him as the first player. Second player I'm going to go with Daniel Jebison, Canadian international. He's got, you know, a lot of experience as well, despite his young age. So, yeah, I'll go with him. And the third player I'm going to go with is Jamal Lewis. Again, another experienced player, obviously playing for Norwich. So, yeah, he's definitely a really good player at this level. As for the Swans then, if there's any Preston North End fans watching this, I think these are players you need to keep an eye out for. First one I'm going to go with is Ethan Galbraith. He's been excellent this season. And, you know, as I say all the time, he's made that step up from League 1 to Championship level look, you know, piss easy. So, yeah, he's a really good player, and I think he's definitely a key player to look out for. Secondly, I'm going to go with Zan Vopotnik. Obviously, we don't know if he's, you know, definitely going to be available for this game or not, which he wasn't. He obviously didn't feature for us against Charlton, but there's been nothing official come out as of yet when I'm recording this. But yeah, he's definitely someone, if he does play, who, you know, can cause major problems. So I'll go with him if he does play. And the third key player I'm going to go with Goncalo Franco. I think he's, you know, absolutely excellent. all the time, and you know, he's a great player for us last season, and he started really well this season as well. So I'll go with him. And then onto the team lineup, I'm going to go with, in goals, I'm going to go with Lawrence Vigouroux. 5 at the back I'm going to go with, because you know, we've done that the last 2 games and I quite like it, to be honest. So right wing back Josh Key, left wing back Josh Tyman. 3 at the back I'll go with Ben Cabango, Kyle Casey and Cameron Burgess. In the midfield I'll go with Ethan Galbraith and Goncalo Franco. And then 2 just behind the striker, I'm going to go with Melker Waddell and Zidane Anou. So I think they have to start. You know, they both played you know, exceptionally well against Man City and came on and instantly impacted the game against Charlton. So I'm going to have to go with those 2 behind the striker. And then up front, if Vopotnik's fit, I'll go with him. But if not, I'll go with Adam Ida. I think, you know, either way, I'd be pretty happy with that. Obviously, Vopotnik's on really good goal scoring form this season. And I think Ida can take a lot of confidence from that goal he got against Charlton on the weekend. So yeah, either way, I'll be happy. But if Vopotnik's available, then I will go with him. If not, I'll go with Adam Ida. But yeah, finally onto a score prediction. As I said, it will be a really tricky game, but I think, you know, we do have to start picking up points. So I'm going to say, just the same as I predicted for Charlton, I'm going to say we're going to nick it 1-0. I'm going to say Preston North End 0, Swansea City 1. And to get the goal, I'm going to go with Zidane Anou. So I think, you know, there is a goal brewing for him. It's going to come very soon, and I hope it's this week. So yeah, 1-0 Swans, Zidane Anou. So once again, a massive thanks for watching this. I will be back with a match reaction tomorrow as usual. I won't be able to attend the game as it's midweek, so yeah, I won't be able to make it, but I'll be doing a match reaction as usual. Hopefully we can get the 3 points, but as I say, once again, a massive thanks for watching this, and stay tuned for the match reaction tomorrow.